Hello, this is the 229th edition of Catch of the Day, available on the Branch Talk YouTube channel. Today we're going to continue reading from a book written by Doug Mitchell entitled The Four Carpenters, the Ensign, the Time of Jacob's Trouble, and the First Deliverance. Starting at the top of page 72, we read, "The victory shall be so complete that even the demons who lead our enemies in the conflict will themselves be confounded." Ebed. "Though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing every captivity, every thought to the obedience of Christ." 2 Corinthians 10, verse 3-5. "Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain." Psalms 127, 1. "Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets." Amos 3:7. No matter how hard men try to bring about revival and reformation among God's people, their efforts are doomed to failure even before they start, if God does not himself, through his prophets, take charge of the work. 1 TG 10-21. Without the living spirit of prophecy in our midst, there can be no success in any revival and reformation, and that the sooner we know it, the quicker we shall achieve our goal. 1 TG 10:27. The Davidians hold that the belief that the spirit of prophecy is to repose in the church to the end of time is one of the foundation stones of the Seventh-day Adventism. 3 Answerer 58:2. Then too it, 17, alone has the testimony of Jesus Christ, the living spirit of prophecy in its midst. Revelation 19:10. The Spirit who leads into all truth, who alone can rightly interpret the Scriptures. 2 Peter 1:20-21. Plainly then, inspiration would have you join no sect but this remnant. 2 TG 34:20. As the Lord alone is to build the house and keep the city, and that only through his living prophets, then those who teach otherwise are building something of their own devising, and those watchmen who are attempting to keep the people safe without a present truth message are doing so in vain. Those many Davidians who say that Brother Hottef is to be the last prophet until the kingdom is set up, saying that it is only the remnant that is left after the earth swallows up the flood that has the gift of prophecy in its midst, are virtually saying, in the context of the quotation above, that you need not join that remnant until it has the living spirit of prophecy in its midst. That is, after Ezekiel 9 slaughter. Those who believe that those who accept that error will find themselves saying the harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved. We will look at those 4 entities and how they are to fray the Assyrian in more detail later. It is written that Herod was terrified at the thought that John the Baptist, who had publicly rebuked his sins, had come back to life. Herod's sin was ever before him. He was constantly seeking to find relief from the accusings of a guilty conscience. His confidence in John was unshaken. As he recalled his life of self-denial, his solemn earnest appeals, his sound judgment in council, and then remembered how he had come to his death, Herod could find no rest. Engaged in the affairs of state, receiving honors from men, he bore a smiling face and dignified mien, while he concealed an anxious heart, ever oppressed with the fear that a curse was upon him. Herod had been deeply impressed by the words of John, that nothing can be hidden from God. He was convinced that God was present in every place, and he had witnessed the revelry of the banqueting room, that he had heard the command to behead John, and had seen the exultation of Herodias and the insult she offered to the severed head of the reprover, and many things that Herod had heard from the lips of the prophet now spoke to his conscience more distinctly than had the preaching in the wilderness. Take care.